Hello and welcome to UK Scrap Addicts. My name is Niki Rowland and I'm here today designing a layout based on a double page sketch designed by Susan Roberts. I'm working with the Wild at Heart collection by Coco Vanilla Studio, which is one of my favourite collections so far. I'm going to start off with white cardstock as my background. I'm just trimming the manufacturing strips off of those, making sure I've got that right. And I'm going to fussy cut out some of these flowers to make a border along the bottom of my layout. I'm going to cut out two lots of those flowers and hopefully they'll join up okay in the middle and look like it's one seamless strip along the bottom. So now I've got my two flower borders, I'm going to start cutting out some butterflies, fussy cutting, and hopefully to form the circle around the centre. I did some of that off camera because you watched enough of me doing fussy cutting with the borders. I'm now just sorting out my photos. The sketch requires quite a few photos. I don't always use as many as that might be depicted in the sketch. For example, I like to work with a fewer number of photos, but I do happen to have quite a few from the same occasion, so thought I'd try and see if I can get them all onto a layout. I'm just adding my flower borders now. I'm sticking them flat at the bottom by using double-sided tape, and then I'm adding foam pads along the shaped edge in order to give some dimension there. Now that my flower borders are stuck in place, I can pull out the other supplies that I'm going to use and arrange those butterflies into that circle element that is in the centre of the sketch. So I'm starting off by putting just a few all spaced out as evenly as I can possibly get them around the centre. I can then stick them down and then start adding some extra bits to the circle to fill it out a little bit. I'm just sticking in the middle of the butterfly so that the wings look like they're flying. They're folded up a little bit. Makes them look like they're flying off the page. So they're all in place now. And I'm going to start adding some other bits and pieces. I've been through my, there's an ephemerum pack there that I'm looking at. And also I have the chipboard sticker sheet that has got some nice elements on there as well. Oh, that's a butterfly from the ephemera that's got lots and lots of little cutouts in it, which is what I'm doing there, poking all the bits out. That one doesn't actually end up fitting in with the other butterflies in the circle, so that's why it's to one side at the moment. And I'm just, filling in all the gaps with as many bits as I can find that work. So there's an ampersand sign there, I've got a few flowers, a few hearts. There they go, I'm using the chipboard sheet there. I just keep building on it until it looks full enough. Now that the focal part of my layout is done, I can start arranging my photos. So I'm just slotting those into place. I don't normally stick exactly to a sketch. I normally just make it work for however my photos, however they work. I'm going through those chipboard alphas there, or they're not actually alphas, they're little titles or words, to see if I can find any that will work as a title here. I've pulled out two, the sweet and happy, neither of which necessarily make sense together, but work perfectly well on their own and work really well with my photos. I've also got those chipboard hearts that I'm going to add also to my middle circle. I'm now adding one of those gorgeous chipboard frames from the Wild at Heart frames pack. There was loads and loads in a pack. I love it. I love frames. So I've just chosen a couple and I'm poking those behind my photos. I rarely use frames as frames. I rarely have photographs within the frame. I normally use them to add extra layers, add dimension, and I love the look when my photos just sit on top of those frames with the partial frame showing. I'm just mounting that photo there onto a piece of card from the Wild at Heart paper collection. It just needed a bit of darkness there to make it pop a bit more. And now I'm getting my photos in place. So I normally raise those up on foam pads, so that's what I'm doing there. Then of course have to be careful that the foam pads don't land on the chipboard frame because you have different heights. Same for this one. I'm just getting everything in place now on the right side of the layout. Again, using foam pads to stick my photos around the frame. And that pesky butterfly from earlier that just didn't fit in the central circle, I'm going to pop there on that corner. I'm just sticking down my words, my wooden words there. I'm using glossy accents to stick those in place. I find that tends to work best. There we go. And the wooden hearts, of course, need sticking in place too, using glossy for those as well. A few bits there from the chipboard sticker sheet. And a flare badge. I love everything in this collection, it's just so gorgeous. Oh, these are the rubber charms, also from this Wild at Heart collection, and also equally gorgeous. So just adding in a few of those as well. I love all the different textures and dimensions that you get by adding all these different items into a layout. Finally adding that second wooden word, again sticking it down with glossy accents, but because it's over two different layers it wouldn't stick properly, so I'm just resting my tape gun on there to hold it in place. The photo was raised on foam pads and the bottom of the letters overlap the photo. So now I just want to add some extra small bits and pieces to my circle of butterflies there. So I've just pulled out some blue pearls, flatback pearls, to add in all the gaps, and I'm going to stick those in place with glossy accents. So I'm just going to finish off by adding some a few flicks of blue Heidi Swap Colour Shine. I pulled out the wrong colour at first. I had to go back and find the blue one. So I'm just trying to flick those diagonally across the page. It's in accordance with the sketch actually, but my blue ink wouldn't behave itself and ended up splattering kind of all over the layout, which I don't mind. It's always a risk. So I've added a few dots there myself, but yeah, that's always something that can happen. And finally, finishing off with by adding in some journaling there. Thank you so much for watching. This is Niki Rowland for UK Scrap Addicts, and see you next time.